Good evening. This is DJ Roob, host of Not So Serious Radio on Palomar College, KKSM, welcoming you to another Pacific View session here at the Pacific View Art Center in Encinitas. This is a program of the city of Encinitas meant to showcase bands from the San Diego region. And tonight I am happy to introduce Wild Wild Wets. Wlech here on the Pacific View Sessions. Thanks for coming in, everybody. It's good to see you. Quick round of introductions of people in the band, please, if you have a sec.
I'm Mike. I'm Mike Torrey. Hi.
This is Priscilla Castro on the tambourines and the chacaracas.
Got a whole table of contents over here.
Yeah.
Alberto Sanchez on the bass low end. David Mead on all of the drums and skins that are not Jason Crane on the other skins and drums and trumpet. Senior Crane, I'm Tejan.
This is Tejan.
Hello.
Yeah.
So that track we just heard was Time on My Mind, and that's on the very new album, less than a month old, called Time Mutations.
That is the opener. Yeah, stage opener.
Absolutely. Let's hear a little bit about the album.
I mean,
Where was it recorded?
It was recorded over the course of the last couple of years, actually, out in El Cajon with Mike Camus at Earthling Studios.
Everybody's friend.
Everybody's friend. He's the best. And I've worked with him before, but it had been a while, and Wild Wild Wets had never recorded with him, and we had it was just a very amazing time, he got great tracks out of us, and we couldn't be more stoked. And Time on My Mind is a perfect example of like how live the record feels, and how much he got out of us in live, recording live instead of just just making it a full studio effort. That track has, I think, the most live tracks on the whole thing.
Yeah, we were chasing takes. So
Yeah.
we were trying to just get those old school takes, get the feel, and then build from there. But everything was pretty much live and then just some extra sauces on top.
Well, your band has a reputation for these crazy wild shows, and I'm glad that you were able to reflect that in the album.
Yeah.
And so we got next set. We got a few more tracks from the album Time Mutations. So
Let's run
when you're
it.
ready, let's do it.
Right.
Wild Wild Wets, Pacific View Sessions.
All right. This one's called Sunshine Sue. not mine. When I began to fly, I touched the sky, returned my eye.
Yeah. Hey, Wild Wild Wets, Pacific View Sessions. That was Summer Gone, appropriate for this time of the year, from the brand new album, Time Mutations, which has been very well received. In fact, it's Psychedelic Baby magazine said their new album, Time Mutations, might be the cleanest or clearest snapshot of yet of a band orbiting entirely on its own terms. Instruments crackle with grit and glow, each part colliding and colluding in a way that feels in your face. And that actually just happened to me right now.
I love that. Yeah, honestly, I think Dave, is that the first time you've heard that? I like your response was great because I loved it too.
I love you. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, let's keep going here.
Yeah, we got a couple more, right?
Yeah.
This one's for your tiki day.
We're gonna end with this. Yes. Yes, we're starting with On the Moon.
Guide me through the dark when I shed off my skin and then I walk on the moon. He's never fun, he's one for one. Did you see reality? The devil's best friend, but there's a catch out, there's a catch out. Did you wait? Disintegrate, 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 disintegrate. disintegrate, 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 disintegrate.
Yeah, Wild Wild Wet, Pacific View Sessions. That was excellent. Thank you so much for coming in. Check out their new album, Time Mutations, available just about everywhere. See you on the circuit.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Peace.